Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has become the Adam Schiff of the House. How so? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Before we dive in, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really helps us out and helps us grow the channel. And go to the address in the bottom right corner, youtube.com/@themagamessage, and check out our other videos. You know, Democrats always seem to employ fear-mongering tactics when discussing Republican-led proposals to reform Medicaid and other areas of the budget. They often portray even modest fiscal responsibility as catastrophic for vulnerable populations. This is a political strategy rather than a reflection of reality. The truth is that many Republican proposals aim to curb waste, fraud, and inefficiency rather than eliminate necessary benefits for low-income Americans. But listen to Jeffries' latest lie.
Earlier this week, House Republicans passed a budget resolution that sets in motion the largest Medicaid cut in American history. Children will be devastated in the city of New York and beyond. Families will be devastated. Seniors will be devastated. Everyday Americans with disabilities will be devastated. Hospitals will potentially close here in New York State, in rural America, and across the country. And nursing homes will certainly be shut down.
He really is the House version of Schiff. You know, somebody had to replace Schiff when he ascended to the Senate, and Hakeem has stepped up. But the budget bill doesn't even mention Medicaid.
President Trump has said repeatedly that he's not cutting Medicare, he's not cutting Social Security, he's not cutting Medicaid. It's not in the bill.
You know, Medicaid as currently structured is on an unsustainable financial path. The program has ballooned far beyond its original purpose of serving the truly needy and disabled. And the Affordable Care Act significantly expanded Medicaid eligibility, enrolling millions of able-bodied working-age adults, many without dependents. This expansion has put a tremendous strain on state and federal budgets, reducing resources available for those who genuinely need assistance. Furthermore, Medicaid is rife with fraud and abuse, costing taxpayers billions of dollars annually. Republicans have pushed for reforms to tighten eligibility verification, reduce fraudulent claims, and introduce work requirements for able-bodied adults. Democrats, however, oppose even these common-sense reforms, again employing scare tactics to claim that Republicans are trying to take health care away from millions. You know, improper payments encompass overpayments, underpayments, and payments lacking sufficient documentation. While not all improper payments result from fraud, a portion can be attributed to fraudulent activities. For example, in fiscal year 2020, the national Medicaid improper payment rate was an estimated 21.36%, amounting to approximately $86.5 billion in improper payments. 1 in 5 Medicare payments is improper, and even if Jeffries is right about cutting $880 billion in Medicaid over 10 years, eliminating improper payments would nearly pay for that reduction. We read almost daily of doctors and pharmacists being charged with Medicaid fraud. In fiscal year 2023, over $1.2 billion was recovered from criminal and civil penalties. And these are just the ones that were caught. Despite loud criticism, Democrats have not put forward a responsible plan to address the unsustainable growth of Medicaid and other entitlement programs. Instead, they push for more spending without addressing the program's inefficiencies, waste, and fraud. By refusing to offer a counterproposal, they avoid accountability for the long-term consequences of unchecked government spending. Furthermore, Democrats' insistence on maintaining Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act, regardless of its fiscal strain, shows a lack of willingness to reform a program that is becoming increasingly unsustainable. They continue to demand higher government spending while ignoring the economic realities of mounting national debt and budget deficit. If Democrats were serious about protecting Medicaid for future generations, they would engage in bipartisan discussions on reforms rather than relying on scare tactics and obstruction. Their refusal to propose a viable alternative, it really exposes the reality that their opposition is more about political posturing than genuine concern for Medicaid recipients. Conservatives do not seek to dismantle Medicaid, but to reform it so that it remains sustainable and effective for future generations. Proposals such as block grants to states, eligibility verification, and work requirements are designed to empower states with the flexibility to tailor Medicaid programs to their population's needs while curbing federal overreach and inefficiency. Rather than harming low-income Americans, such measures would strengthen Medicaid by prioritizing those people most in need while reducing incentives for dependency among those who can work. Democrats' fear-mongering on this issue is a blatant political strategy meant to strike public anxiety and resist any effort to bring accountability and efficiency to Medicaid spending. President Trump has consistently pledged to safeguard Medicaid from budget cuts. Just last month, he stated his intention to love and cherish Medicaid, emphasizing that any reduction would target fraud and abuse rather than essential services. This stance aligns with his earlier promises during his 2016 campaign, where he assured, "I'm not going to cut Social Security like every other Republican, and I'm not going to cut Medicare or Medicaid." Watch the following clip and please share your thoughts in the comments.
Medicaid is going to be a big issue. So call for 3 here is from Politico saying that Dems prepare to blast Republicans over Medicaid, a proven messaging strategy. Democratic House leaders are urging lawmakers to localize the effects of Medicaid cuts. And here is Hakeem Jeffries slamming the resolution.
The House Republican budget resolution will set in motion the largest Medicaid cut in American history. It's outrageous. Children will be devastated, families devastated, people with disabilities devastated, older Americans devastated, hospitals devastated, nursing homes devastated.
No doubt you've anticipated these kind of attacks. How do you respond?
Yeah, you can say I'm a 6'2" blonde supermodel, but that doesn't make it true. Listen, when you don't have a leader, when you don't have a policy, when you don't have a platform to run on, you have no other option than to fearmonger. And that's exactly what the Democrats are doing. I find it very interesting that in the budget resolution, Medicaid was not mentioned one time. We have no intention on hurting the people who need it most. But if you're receiving Medicaid payments as an illegal alien, if there is waste, fraud, and abuse, we are going to look at those. And we need to do those, and we need to find those savings because we need to help the people who need it most with the people who are stealing from Medicaid. I don't understand the fear-mongering, but when you don't have a platform and you don't have a leader, you got to do something.
Can you put a dollar amount on that?
I can't, and that's why I want to be able to send it to the committees. But listen, the president has spoken. We've spoken. We have no intention to gut Medicaid. It's fear-mongering. But we do have its intention to make sure that the dollars that we are spending from the hard-earned American people are being spent wisely and efficiently to make sure that these programs continue for the people who need it most. Why is it a bad thing to look at savings? Why is it a bad thing to look at waste, fraud, and abuse? The Democrats are advocating for us not to look at it.